Hello and welcome to Feast One's Eyes on Goodies. Tile your kitchen for under £40. After having a heat pump installed, these were taken off my kitchen wall, and these are the thermostats and electrical fuse for the operation of the old boiler. And then what happened is these were put onto the wall, and these were two blanks. Now, I didn't particularly like these, and the blanks didn't do any good, or they didn't serve any purpose. So what I've decided to do is redecorate parts of the kitchen. Now, what I had on the wall was this, and this is a self-adhesive tile. And so what I've done is I've removed all of these and I've put some new stuff on. Now, to take these off, did it cause any damage? Well, it pulled a little bit of the paint off the walls, but it did come off reasonably easy, so I was quite pleased with that. And what I've done is I've bought something a little bit better. Now, when you have a look at this, this is quite thin. And so what I've done is I've bought some that's a little bit thicker, and in actual fact it's 2.3 mil on the thickness. And I'll just show you that in a moment. This is the box that my new tiles have come in, and you can buy these either in a pack of 10 or a pack of 20. Now, I've gone for 20 in one box and 10 in another. And if you have a look on the label here, you'll see that it's manufactured somewhere in China. I can't pronounce some of the words on those. However, I bought these off eBay. It was free post and packaging, and it only took 4 days to deliver. What you're looking at now is the tiles that I've bought, and they come, so they're 60 centimetres all the way across, 30 centimetres down from here. And as I mentioned earlier on, these are quite thick because they're 2.3 mil. Now, one issue you may have with this is making sure that when you put them on the wall that you don't bend these, because although they're 2.3 mil thick, in between here is polystyrene foam, and it does crease very, very easily. So just be a little bit careful about what you do with these. And one of the other things is that these come in lots of different colours. You don't have to have the tiles like this. You can have whatever you like on those. And some of them are just kind of almost like a blank marble looking tile as well. They'd be a lot easier to put onto the wall. Because with this one round the edges I've had to do a little bit of grouting. Now, to show you the adhesive on the back of these little tiles, this is just a little offcut that I've got, and if I just turn this over, I'm just going to go to the one edge over here and just peel this back a little bit so you can have a look. And this is the sticky part down here, and I have to say this is mega sticky. Now, that is a good point. However, when you go to put these onto the wall, you have to be very careful, because once they make contact with the wall, look at this, it's very hard to pull it away. So do take care when you're using these. Now, what you're looking at now are tools that I recommend that you will definitely need for cutting these tiles. Now, the most important part is this cutting mat back here, all right, and that's quite a large one that I've got, and again, like, that's just an absolute must. The next thing is some utility knives for cutting, and you really need to have new blades in these, all right. Don't use blunt blades because it'll just drag and your cut won't be good at all, all right. The next thing is a spirit level. All right, now again, leveling up the top of your tiles is really quite important, because it's going to look a mess. And with mine, because the tiles have got lines in them as well, if you get one part wrong, you're going to be out quite a lot. Now, the other important thing is this, a metal ruler. Now, when you go to cut this is going to be ideal. Don't use a plastic one, it just won't cut properly. All right. I've also got just over here two different types of screwdrivers, a flathead and a Phillips one, just for removing some of the sockets and things like that, just in case you have to. A pair of very sharp scissors, and for me, because I was using tiles that have got lines on them, I've just got a black grout pen as well. Another point for you is when you actually come to cut the tiles, cut this so it's perfectly level. All right, so you're cutting down, don't cut at angles either way. So let's put the ruler on here. Now obviously when you're using one of these rulers, make sure your fingers are out of the way, but cut flat. Now you'll hear, I'll just do this again, you can hear that, just like that little click as it just pops in. Do it again. You'll know that it's gone all the way through, and then cut down so you're getting a nice straight cut. Take your time when you're doing this. Remember what I said earlier on, make sure your blade is nice and sharp. Then what you'll do then is you'll get a nice even cut going through here, and on the opposite side you can see where this is cut through, it's all nice and straight. Cutting the tiles around light fittings and other plug sockets can be a little bit of a problem, and that is because when you put this underneath here and try and fit it around, it just will not go. And because it's so thick, all right, you're going to get a bit of a problem. So what you need to do is you need to have a template, something like this, that you can just put onto the top and then cut perfectly around these. And again, like with this, what you would just do is slice down here across onto the top and just make sure that it's a perfect cut. Obviously measure this up properly to start off with, but don't try and screw these onto the top this way. If you do, it will be a disaster, because as soon as you put pressure on here, these just fold in and you'll see little lines of creases coming around here, because again, this, just to remind you again, is just foam in the middle. Cutting the tiles around light fittings and other plug sockets can be a little bit of a problem, and that is because when you put this underneath here and try and fit it around, it just will not go. And because it's so thick, all right, you're going to get a bit of a problem. So what you need to do is you need to have a template, something like this, that you can just put onto the top and then cut perfectly around these. And again, like with this, what you would just do is slice down here across onto the top and just make sure that it's a perfect cut. Obviously measure this up properly to start off with, but don't try and screw these onto the top this way. If you do, it will be a disaster, because as soon as you put pressure on here, these just fold in and you'll see little lines of creases coming around here, because again, this, just to remind you again, is just foam in the middle. Now, to give you some idea of the finished job, this is it, and it took me probably about 5 hours to do all of this, and I think it's come out pretty good. Now, as you can see, I've actually grouted around a few of the edges, just straight down the middle part, just down here, so that way it looks a little bit better. Not only used a grout pen as well, but overall effect, I think it looks pretty good. To sum up my review of these stick-on tiles, they're really quite good for the price. I mean, like, I've just done all of my kitchen around these areas for just over £30. Yes, they are a little bit difficult to put on, and you do need a little bit of patience, but with a little bit of patience I think you can do a good job. Just remember what I said when you're going around some of these switches, all right? If you can cut them out and just drop the tiles over the top, then it's going to make life a lot easier for you. All right, so yes, I can recommend them. I do hope you found that this review has been informative and may help you decide whether you want to go ahead with these kind of tiles or not. It would also help my channel immensely if you liked and subscribed to it. Thank you and goodbye. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.